Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be taking a look at the Microcosmos MC-01 Elvis. This is actually the metallic version. I know that they released the non-metallic previously in the year. I was really interested in it but never picked it up, but when I saw this, I knew this was the version I had to have. It's a really neat set. It forms the Lions, Voltron, and also their cubes. So it's pretty interesting. Let's dive in. Here we have all of the Lions in their cube mode. I'm going to be honest, this is probably going to be the last time that they'll see this mode, but it is neat to see that the way they form the cubes and also integrate all of the accessories into the cube mode. You've got storage for the sword, and on the front you've got storage for the weapons as well as the shield. So it's pretty interesting, but not my cup of tea. Some people may really like it though. So that brings us to the lions. Let's go ahead and start with the legs. I'll start with the blue lion. Both the leg lions do come with the same accessory. A nicely painted hip cannon, which you can see. It's not actually black plastic. It does have a sheen painted on it. As you can tell, it's speckled a little bit. It's a nice addition. It does just simply pop off the holder. And as you can see, magnificent blue paint. Got gold eyes on the front. All the silver's painted as well. Black is painted. You've got different detailing here on the back with the number 4, as you do with the yellow lion, which is nice. Articulation wise, the mouth is open. The head can go up and down. It's a little tight due to the paint, but you do have motion there. And you also have the ability to loosen the connection of the back to give you a little bit more posability, but it is supposed to stay. But with the paint, that tolerance is a little tight. But like I said, head up and down due to transformation, but it is there. All the legs have the ability, since they're on ball joints, to spread out. Although the feet don't have any kind of a ball joint to allow the ankles to pivot, which is disappointing. Coming back to the back, the rear hips can go up and down, like that. And then you do have multiple joints in the legs to allow for different poses. And the tail is also posable, even with the painted section that attaches it to the back. No side-to-side motion on the legs though. Bringing in the yellow lion, much of the same, just different decor. You've got the different sculpting on the back with the number 5, done in gold and red this time. You've got blue eyes on the head. Again, opening mouth. Very, very nicely done. Moving on to the arms, they do have different accessories. You've got this back-mounted shoulder or back-mounted launcher, which is nice. Again, it's painted. It can rotate just due to being on pegs, but the tolerances are tight. You do have extra motion here because of the arms. They are the arms, so you have that elbow movement that you can utilize, which is really cool. And also the head can go up and down. Magnificent green with gold eyes. You've got the number 3. Sculpting along the back. Again, with the arms, you do have the ability to pivot the arms in and out. And of course they do all rotate. So very, very nice. Here is the red lion, much the same. Got the number 3 on the top. Sculpting is very similar on the arms, but nice gold eyes, red and black paint, silver on the legs. Tail is the only thing that's not painted on these guys. And that brings us to the black lion. As far as head, shoulders do rotate, and you can pull them out for extra wide stance if you want. But the only nice thing is the rear feet are on ball joints, so you can pivot them. I wish they would have done that with more, but you do have the ability to just pivot the legs. These cannons are the accessories for the Black Lion, again painted, and they do pivot and swing, and if you want to, you can even fold them up. There's the view in the back with the red painted wings. The mouth does open. And you can see the Voltron head there at the top of the mouth. Head can look up and down, do a full 360 on this one. So, most articulation. So we'll start with the legs. And the attachment is very simple. Like I said, you want to make sure that you have your feet forward because they will go into the recess here in the lion. And then these prongs will go into the connectors there. And there, it's just a matter of sliding it in, getting a good connection. Now, that is definitely going to happen. If it does, it's on a ball, so it's okay. Just simply pop it back on. Bring in the other leg. Get a good connection. You can bring in the arms, and this is probably the simplest attachment. It's just a metal bar that slides into the arm, but it is surprisingly secure. We'll bring in the red lion. And there we go. There is Voltron. So let's take a look at the Voltron. And all that wonderful paint does come through nicely. You've got a beautiful head sculpt with the blue and gold painted on silver. Looks fantastic. The lion head features do come through with the gold eyes and gold ears. It can do a full 360. Head can go up to there, down to there, and a little bit of attitude, which is nice. You got the black and red on the chest, beautiful color on the emblem there with the different colors of the lions, and the gold cross. Looks fantastic. Coming to the shoulders, you do have the ability to come up to 90 degrees with a full rotation. Now just be aware, this is one gripe I have. This connection here does want to tend to rotate with you when you move the arms. So just try and make sure that it's snug and hold that in place while rotating. But moving on, you do have 90-degree bend on the elbow. Or sorry, just shy of 90 degrees, but you do have this additional movement here to bring the arm across the chest, which is nice. You also do have just a simple bicep rotation. Coming down to the hands, the head can move up and down. This is where that rotation comes in handy with that secondary movement. Gives you the ability to get some nice poses. And then of course, the teeth do open, and there's your connection joint right there for the accessories, which we'll go over here in a minute. Same on this side. The waist does have the ability to rotate. Now, it might not seem like you can go a lot, but you have the ability, if your rear hip skirts are down, to push this assembly back. And you'll have a lot more movement if you do that. As far as hip skirts, they do move up and out of the way in all locations. Make sure you have that push forward to do so. And that will give you the ability to kick up almost 90 degrees. You can actually go out a little above 90 degrees as well. Moving on, you can get back just as far as you can forward. You do have a very, very tight waist rotation, or thigh rotation, I'm sorry. You do have a double jointed knee. Now this will push the lion legs out a little bit, but with that double knee, you do have the ability to go the full run. And just push it all back in once you've done so. And then coming down to the feet, you do have the ability to make this separation at this internal joint, that peg, so that will allow the feet to move forward and back, pivot back and forward up a little bit, and give you some rocker motion also, which is nice. So it's not that the articulation is bad, it's good, just lacking in a few places. I do wish that this pivoted down a little bit. It looks nice painted in gold and red, but it faces up, so you don't really see it the majority of the time. That's disappointing, but it's nice that it's there. So overall, beautifully painted, beautifully sculpted. So final thoughts. I think that this is actually very impressive. The size of the lions, even though they're so small, they're very well detailed, painted, and overall, I think they're very well done. Accessories could have used a little more paint, and I do wish the lions had their their individual accessories, the blades that would go with each particular one, but it's a minor issue, to be honest. What they did provide is pretty excellent. And the fact that they're painted, even though they didn't need to be, is pretty fantastic. The sculpting, articulation, and everything is what you would expect from a character this size, and from Voltron himself, really. So overall, yeah, well done. I picked this up from the Chosen Prime. I'll leave a link in the description below. I do recommend you check them out. And if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. All these minor things that you can do will just simply help my channel grow, and I do appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.